just because you got a name does not mean you're going to win a championship. The Lakers made the big mistake this offseason in the return of the bubble. And I thought they were good moves, but they think the names will make them a championship team. That's not the case. In a world where Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets are doing good with players that are not widely known if you're not a basketball head such as myself, you're seeing the big name guys start to fall off. And the reason being is team chemistry and putting players in the right position with the right process. The Lakers, it's still early, are the number one front runners for the championship. And after the big game with the Clippers, they beat them, but it was such a close game. And that was without Lewis Williams, Montrezl Harrell, two key proponents of their team. Now, we end up here in the bubble, and let's look at their roster. And I'm going to go over why the Lakers are in big trouble when it comes to the playoffs. Because the personnel, even though it looks good on paper, if they don't come through with some outstanding games that are probably out of the realm of what they should be doing at this stage of their career, we're going to be in trouble. Kostas Antetokounmpo, the big forward, 7-footer, that's what I'm calling him, even though he's probably 6'10", 6'11", has to come up defensively when he's in the game and has to rebound. He needs to be aggressive in those two aspects. He doesn't see much playing time, but they could use Kostas as a spark, 5-6 minutes of the game, rebound, dunks. I heard he's improving on his three-point, being a stretch three-point shooter. Kostas has to play a little bit as an energy guy. I'm going to go into why when we continue down, and age is a factor. Avery Bradley's not there. Devontae Cook is not playing as much, could be a big defensive guard, not sure what he's going to be in the league. I'm not going to go over him right now because he hasn't had the opportunity to really play and showcase himself. Caldwell Pope has to step up and be consistent. He needs to be the 14 to 15 point shooting guard scorer that they need. We're going to go over his stats and see what he's given the team and see why there's still some influxes of inconsistency, which will hurt the team, especially in the NBA where teams now have potentially 4 stars. Talking about my favorite Denver Nuggets on a team that can spark you. All right. Alex Caruso, a consistent second guard, great videos on YouTube. However, is he the right fit for this team? Does he really pay the dividends that they need from a defensive perspective, which what he's supposed to be, killing the opposing point guards and making them stretch themselves to get their points? That's what he needs to be off the bench, all right? Now we got Quinn Cook, who doesn't play as much. He could be kind of like Mr. Seth Curry from the Dallas Mavericks. Doesn't really get enough playing time to showcase himself, but is an extremely good three-point shooter. I think if given the opportunity, can excel in moments off of the bench. They just don't play him enough. They've been playing him lately because of the injuries to some of the key players and the fact that they've sealed the number one spot. Danny Green. Isn't that interesting? I skipped over my man. Let me go down. Anthony Davis is there, obviously the anchor. He also needs to step up, right? We need to see Anthony with a more consistent scoring output. Being slated as one of the best power forwards in the league is not enough. There needs to be other aspects of the game that he improves on, mainly not only his post-up, but I think he needs to be able to stretch the floor a little bit more. He has a capability. I've shown it before. He can do it. Stretch it out a little bit. I know they want you in the post, and I can see Frank Vogel go inside, punish him. Yeah, get some fouls on the opposing team to get the better guys out who are good from a power forward position. But I think you need to stretch the floor to open it up for LBJ. All right, now, continuing on. Jared Dudley, I'm not sure of his presence on his team. A solid role player. Reminds me of a smaller, Boris Diaw. A smaller Boris Diaw. He's at a later stage of his career. He's older. I'm not really sure how he fits in, and it's interesting to see Jared still be in the league at this point. No offense to him, but I thought there were better picks that they could utilize for the playoffs. Maybe another longer player, Corey Brewer, somebody in that light that could really make an impact. Okay, Jared still makes an impact because of his high IQ, so I can't downgrade him there. But just from a physicality standpoint, you look at Jared and you go, I really don't know what's there. Early on in his career, yeah, it was perfect, right? He was kind of like, if you think about it, who's the dude from the Houston Rockets, the PJ Tucker like, without the athleticism, right? Type player. At this stage of his career, I don't see it. He may show it in spurts, but I just thought there was better avenues for them to pick up because you need a fully loaded team on this squad, right? Danny Green's there, really hasn't shown out like he needs to show out. I don't know if this LA Lights. We'll get into the stats and look at what he's doing. Danny Green has to show up, all right? I don't know if it's the system or what's going on, but Danny Green has to be a solid three-point shooter. He has to make up for the inconsistencies they get from Caldwell Pope. I would like to see Danny Green step up. So we're going to talk about that. Taylor Horton-Tucker, need to see more of the kid, okay? I heard he's coming along. He played a little bit last night. Looks solid. We'll see what kind of opportunities he can bring for the squad. Dwight Howard is there. He can't shoot. He's a big rebounder. Okay, that's what he's been left as at this point. He started to gain some shooting up in the summer with no one guarding him and some practices, scrimmages. And everyone can, I'm not going to say everyone can do that, but that's a great improvement. However, it hasn't shown or translated into gameplay yet, and I think it will. I think Dwight Howard has that capability. It's a nice form on a shot, too. He just needs the opportunity, and they got him loaded up in the post all the time. It'd be nice to see him step out a little bit. LeBron James, 36, 37 years old. We got to realize that. It's not the same LeBron James. Again, not meaning he's lost everything. I'm saying he doesn't have it at a high level for a 46, 47-minute game at that age. He shouldn't have to do that. He should be playing 30 to 35 minutes, and then you'll see the same old LeBron James because his body won't be able to exert that amount of effort for the entire game because it's just genetics. There's nothing it's just your body. Natural occurrence is you're going to lose some of the cartilage and the muscle as you age. And LeBron James, still an amazing athlete, probably still a top 15 athlete in the NBA. However, he is, with age, I think he's running out of gas, and it's affecting his shot. We'll get into that. Now, Kyle Kuzma is the main guy, all right? Kyle Kuzma is a guy that needs to step up, all right? We're going to get into it. I'm going to skip over. He is going to have to be like a second scorer. Even though Davis is that guy, Kyle Kuzma, they need to utilize him more. He's part of this youth movement in the NBA that has taken over. Look at Michael Porter Jr. Kuzma can give you similar type of attack. His shot is not as sweet off the ball as Mr. Porter Jr. However, Kuzma showed last year, if given the ball, if given the opportunity, he can be a big scorer. He always was one out of Utah. They need to allow the kid to play. I can see his frustration with the Lakers organization with this old man ball. JaVale McGee, again, they don't utilize him as much. He's just been a great energy guy, an efficient rebounder, a great shot blocker defensively. He's done his job. I'm sorry to say. There's nothing more you can say about JaVale. Hasn't really had any JaVale McGee moments for Shaquille O'Neal. So I like JaVale McGee. Is there more he can give? Certainly. I think him and Dwight are being slept on. I think JaVale McGee also has a shot if given the opportunity. He was probably one of the more athletic centers ever, in my opinion, when he came out. Just never got the opportunity, and the personnel was never right for him. Marquis Morris is another pickup. Great job by this team by getting him. I think he's going to assist this team, and he's been a dog as well. But we're going to get into the stats and figure out what's going on. Rajon Rondo not playing. I'm going to skip over him. J.R. Smith, here we go. All right. When you got this kid, you expected him to be a three-point shooter and be good defensively. I haven't seen enough of anything, even with all of the great work he's done on the offseason. I loved it. My man, I like JR from Jersey, so I'm going to represent him. However, he's not coming through right now. We'll get into the stats. Dion Waiters, another guy. Big, there's a reason why he's not in the league, right? There's a reason why you don't pick up certain players, right? You see the ISO and you go, oh yeah, that's my guy, ISO, right? And you're looking at the Houston Rockets. However, if you formulated a plan like the Phoenix Suns with more spot up shooters, right? Or even now the Dallas Mavericks, right? This is what you should be looking for from a team play perspective. When you got these old ISO guys, it stifles the system and it hurts you. One team that's really excelling with these specialists, Miami Heat. Olynyk, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, even though he can create for himself, spotless three-point shooters. The floor is opened up. They are dangerous with these type of guys. They brought in JR, who can be a spot-up shooter. Can Dion Waiters develop into a spot-up shooter without having the ball in his hands? let's get into the stats right now. I want to go over what I'm seeing, all right? So now, as I looked about the Lakers, because I just hate to talk about folks and not give you any solutions. Detailed stats. Season play. What I wanted to see was the bubble play, right, for this team. I can't really. Let me see if it can break it down. Okay. This may be it. Okay, so this is the refined stats. No, it's not going to do it. So, LeBron James, all right? Now, I want to show the bubble statistics, and that's the issue. But I believe I can look at J.R. Smith, and what I want to key on is J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, okay? As we look at the overall stats, and you can see games played, 5 games for J.R. Look at the percentage of scoring for these kids, all right? First of all, J.R. Smith, let me start with Waiters. 36% from the floor. He's inefficient. It is what it is. Look what his percentage is from three-point land. 13.6%. I mean, it's not going to work. Okay, go down and look at J.R. Smith. 0%. 0. Okay. You go into defensive rebounds, 1.8. These guys are not fruitful. I'm sorry. Turnovers per game. With that low efficiency to have near the top turnovers in on the team, Dion Waiters. I mean, I can't say that. He's 1.4. He's near the middle of the team with his minutes of play. He's over 1. JR 0.6 with the minutes he plays. I mean, I can't point at only these guys because they're not really playing a lot of minutes. But for Lord, have mercy on me. 0% from 3 J.R. Smith, unacceptable. 16.7% field goals, unacceptable. Same thing for Waiters. This is a problem, all right? This is a huge problem for the LA Lakers. I want to see the bubble stats. That would really help me understand what's happening. Let's go into that real quick. Let's see if that gives us some room to look at the stats from a bubble perspective. But you can definitely see there are some problems here with the LA Lakers when it comes to player stats and the efficiency, right? Because I wanted to look at what the heck LeBron James was doing in this atmosphere as we do this sports chat this morning. Because when we look at the bubble, and again, they're not playing fully, right? The Lakers are not playing their entire team right now because of the bubble. Let's get into the game last night. And let's really feed our fancy on what we've been seeing, all right? Stat lines, okay, for the Lakers, okay? Last night, Anthony Davis, 8 and 8, can't be that guy. He can't be that guy. I would love to see his efficiency. He can't be an 8 and 8 guy. Okay? You're not going to win with Anthony Davis scoring 8 and 8. It's just not going to work. Okay? LeBron James, 8 and 7. Okay, 35 minutes of play. 8 and 7, right? So I'm sorry, 31, 8 and 7, consistent, right? JaVale McGee, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 13 minutes. They're not playing him enough. Caldwell Pope is just not there. All right, 8 points in 32 minutes. Alex Caruso, all right, playing around with the lineups, 5 and 5. He's a good backup. He's not your starter. Look what Kyle Kuzma did last night. 11 and 5 in 25 minutes, okay? Needs more touches. Quinn Cook, 21-point efficient. He needs to be in the lineup more. And then, of course, Mr. Dwight Howard, 10 and 12. Hey, he is what he is. He gets you what you need to get from him. JaVale McGee needs more minutes. Again, back up to him. Taylor Horton Tucker, 10 and 1. And then Jared Dudley, 2. I guess he hit him in all fronts with the 2s, you know. So, again, not bad, but Anthony Davis needs to come through a little bit more. And they also need to play a little bit more of J.R. Smith. I think that is hurting this team. J.R. Smith and Mr. our buddy Mr. Dion Waiters, Mr. ISO King, a little bit more in these series because they're hurting themselves. Let me go back a couple games. Let's go. They lost to the Rockets. I mean, this is a losing streak of losing streaks. Kuzma, when he plays 21, they threw Anthony Davis at the center position. Again, playing around 17 and 12. Looks like they got a little bit more efficient with Mr. LeBron James out. Mr. Dion Waiters scored 8 and 2. But if I look at the efficiency, it was low, judging by the percentages. J.R. Smith played 13 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. But judging by the numbers, he probably shot a little bit more than he was supposed to and was not efficient in his scoring. All right. So this shows something. Quinn Cook, inconsistent. And where is Caldwell Pope? Again, 10 and 1. He needs to be 15-point scorer. It's quite clear to me what we're seeing with this team. Let's go back another game, all right? We got the Rockets. Who else? Man, the Thunder beat them. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just a losing streak. Thunder beat these guys, right? They're on a 3-game losing streak. Let's see what we get out of this team, all right? LeBron James, 19-11, consistent. Anthony Davis, 9 and 8. Looks like there's an issue with Davis and James on the court. Process-wise, they need to address that. It looks like there's an issue there. Davis excelled at that center position, or he's faster than most of the centers. JaVale McGee is still there, 6.6 rebounds. Danny Green, 9 and 5. Caldwell Pope, look at that. Dion Waiters, ISO King, had the minutes, put up 14 points. Okay, J.R. Smith, 11 minutes, 0 points. He's trying to play the right way. He needs to get more aggressive. Somebody needs to help out Caldwell Pope. He's not coming through. Kyle Kuzma didn't like the stat line here, 10 points. Okay, let's keep going up. Again, that's a little bit of inconsistency. Let's see when they won versus the Jazz. A bigger Rudy Gobert. Okay, Anthony Davis, 42. LeBron, 22. So when Anthony scores over 20, they have a much better chance at winning. JaVale McGee, 14 minutes. That was horrible. Caldwell Pope, 10 and 4. I mean, at least he's consistent in the 10 range, but not enough. Danny Green, 8. Dion Waiters, 7. J.R. Smith, 4 points, 14 minutes. Focusing on guys that have to make an impact. And Kyle Kuzma, not enough. They need the third option to come through. I think it's Kuzma, but we're not seeing it at this time. Maybe try a lineup, and I wouldn't argue against this, of McGee, James, Davis, Kuzma, yes sir, and Danny Green. Would be interesting to see that lineup on the front line just starting. The problem is they would have no power forward for the backup. You see how they kind of killed themselves? There's nothing there. Tucapuco is not ready yet to really come in that role, so they can't do that. Hence why Kuzma has to come off the bench. There's no power forward there on the bench. There's nothing. The team looks good on paper from a name perspective, but when you really look at the roster, there's holes to fill. There's holes to fill for the Lakers, all right? Let me keep going. Lakers versus Raptors. They lost that one, all right? What happened there? Anthony Davis, 14. He needs to score 20, LeBron. Anthony Davis needs 20 points a game for you guys to have a chance of winning. McGee, 3 points. Caldwell Pope, 5. It's horrible. Waiters, 12. But you can see he's getting minutes. JR, wow. I mean, goose egging, man. Him and Quinn Cook goose egg a lot. They goose egg. Kuzma, 16. Much better from Kuzma against the Raptors. But the inconsistency is real. Even though Davis only played 35 minutes. I mean, that's still a lot. Clippers, that was the game I saw. Let's go into the Clippers was the first game, okay? And I thought all guns were ablazing in that one, right? Davis, over 20, they're winning. It's clear. LeBron has to, and again, LeBron's doing his thing, right? He's being efficient. McGee, 6 and 7. Caldwell Pope, my Lord God, what else can I say? Boy, if it wasn't for the Clutch Sports partnership, he has to go. I'm sorry. I need to see at least one 15-point game. Danny Green, what are you doing? I mean, these two need to come through, as well as they need guard help. That's what the issue is right now. There is no guard help. Dwight Howard, first game, Max. Not too bad. I'm not talking about Caruso. He's been consistent. And Dion Waiters has gotten the minutes, but again, he's not efficient. So, for me, It's obvious to me what the issue is with the Lakers. It is the guard play. Look, these guys are good. I know they are. They just need to either adjust the system that they have going to get them more open shots, or these guys need to be back in the gym shooting more shots. They don't have the LA distractions either anymore, so that's not an excuse. So obviously, it's the guard play of the Lakers that needs help. I would go with a lineup of LeBron James, Davis, Kuzma, and Javon McGee, and then you add in there another guard, whoever you want. But I don't think that's feasible. There's no backup power forward. There's no six man really yet that they can rely on. So they have to go with what they have. Right now, the Lakers are in trouble. To be straight up honest with you, they look good. I thought, the clear championship, but LeBron James can't do it all. The other folks have to step it up. Denver, LA, as well as the Portland Trailblazers are scary. I wouldn't want to play them in the first round with the lineup that I have here on the Lakers. So it's going to be interesting to see as we head into the playoffs. Off Work Sports, I'm signing off. Lakers are in trouble. Yes, they are, if they don't get guard help. I'm out. Peace.